she gives us. And you're welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Last week, we started an important conversation on malnutrition, which is something we are very passionate about because of the job we do. But in relation to muscle loss, I'll just very briefly, in a minute or two, just give us a recap, then we delve into other parts we couldn't treat last week.
Okay, so we're talking about lots of cancer cases, but this month being the World Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So we're trying to talk about nutrition and nutrition in cancer, paying attention to malnutrition in cancer. Okay, so how to prevent malnutrition and muscle loss in cancer. Okay, so we have two different causes. We have, or when we talk about malnutrition, can be caused by two different factors. The normal one that we all know is inadequate intake in a healthy person, where you are not taking enough meal, or you decide to starve for a purpose or two. There is that starvation metabolism where the body will break down stored fats and use it as the body's source of fuel, trying to present or preserve the body's protein stores to maintain the body's normal function. That one has to do with only inadequate intake and absorption, which can be corrected when, or which can be restored when the person increases food intake. But in a situation where the person or the patient has a disease condition, then that becomes a systematic inflammation malnutrition. Okay, so today we are paying attention to systematic inflammation malnutrition, which is disease related. Okay, and the disease we are talking about is cancer.
Okay. In
cancer, inflammation is high. Okay, in systematic inflammation malnutrition, it could be the inflammation could be acute, could be chronic, or yes, it could be either acute or chronic. Sometimes also because the body is responding to a basic injury, you might go through malnutrition because you use the nutrient to help in the healing process. So cancer or malnutrition in cancer is all about inflammation. Okay, inflammation, malnutrition. Inflammation because inflammation causes the patient to be to lose appetite.
You mentioned, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
And also increases catabolism. Okay, increases fatigue. So the disease exposes you to that condition already.
Yeah.
So it is no longer only nutrition intake, but it is other factors.
Interesting.
And the inflammation being key.
I also recall last week you talking about the fact that, especially for cancer patients, it is very difficult for them to add on weight.
Yes.
During the process of like their feeding, their diet. Because what happens is that they lose a lot of weight, and now when they eat, it's just about maintaining.
Maintaining, yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Let's move on and talk about other things we couldn't talk about. So, for example, I saw a message after the show asking whether it's possible to lose muscles, in the arms and but gain it elsewhere as a result of specific foods we eat. Can you just tidy up that thought process?
Okay, so in relation to cancer, losing in the arm and gaining it elsewhere is not really possible because of the increased catabolism. Okay, so but when inflammation goes down, then you are able to gain. Okay, so it's all about reducing inflammation with medication and nutrition. And so it is a multi-factor approach.
Okay.
Over the week, I had a few calls from viewers asking whether they could use nutrition alone as cure. Like they have been on medication for a while. I was surprised. All the patients who called me hadn't met dietitian for the years of treatment, and they think they are giving up. So they want to seek alternative treatments where they will do herbs and only nutrition. Because nutrition in this case is it's no longer an adjunct, but it's plays a pivotal role in the medical treatment. You cannot use it alone. Now we use nutrition care and as part of the medical care. So you go to your doctor does assessment, doctor will do nutrition and metabolism assessments, where he will do the physical examination, he will request some labs, refer you to a dietitian. We will do the antrus, okay, and also do the physical examination, help you manage the symptoms you are experiencing, okay. So let's say you are somebody who easily feels nausea. There are teas that we will introduce you to reduce it, okay. Whilst you go through the treatment and therapy, you will realize that the nausea will calm down and you'll be able to increase your intake. Yeah. In the case of poor absorption, when doctor does the lab tests and we see that there are deficiencies in some of the nutrients, then he will request or prescribe nutritional supplements, okay, where you are no longer able to digest and absorb, then the supplement is key. Okay. So if you stick to a dietitian alone, who at this time, and no dietitian will, in a cancer case, treat you alone.
Exactly. That was my next question to you, because I get the sense that your work is so complicated, because we also know from studies that when somebody is going through cancer treatment, there are other symptoms that, you know, come along with it. So for example, you have headaches, you have swellings, so how do you know what kind of diet to prepare for what condition, right? Because of course there's a cancer treatment ongoing, there's the chemotherapy and all of that, but how do you also factor in diet to cater for other symptoms, maybe a headache, maybe dehydration, you know? So just talk us through the process, or maybe prepare a meal for us. Okay. From breakfast to maybe supper.
Okay, so let's say a patient has been referred to me, a dietitian, to provide the nutrition supports. Okay, so before the doctor would do the referral, the doctor would have run some tests on him to know the nutritional status of the patient. Yeah. So the lab test will suggest to me the deficiencies, the extent of deficiencies. Yeah. So if the patient is anemic, for instance, okay, then I know how to increase his HB or how to improve the situation with diet, okay. So breakfast, what is he taking? If he's not taking enough green, or even if he's not able to eat at all.
So it's a case-by-case basis.
Yes, if he's not able to eat at all, then the doctor will give iron-rich medication, whilst I also support with nutritional intake. Okay. There are cases where you would only be on diets to correct the situation.
Before medication.
Before medication.
And you don't just look at somebody or listen to someone and then say, you're going to eat this, you're going to eat this. The lab tests also play a huge role.
Major role, so that you know what you are dealing with.
Wow.
Yes.
So it is observation and also research, as in like getting the vitals to check.
Yes. So in a healthy person, okay, you can't even do a weight loss with just physical examination.
Okay.
Okay. Because malnutrition is not only about weight. Sometimes a person can even have the weight, but is very malnourished in other nutrients.
Because it's not balanced.
Yes, yes. So
were you the one who said to us that sometimes even inattentiveness or a short attention, span, can be a result of what the food you are eating?
Yes.
I think I remember that from quite a number of shows back.
Yes. So there are levels of deficiencies. So, for instance, what you're saying, if you lack B12, you will see that you are not able to focus well.
But you may be fit, you may appear strong physically,
but you are not functioning well
as a human being. Interesting.
Yes, you are not functioning well.
And let me come back to this. So while you say that you can't necessarily pass a value judgment or a health prescription in terms of diet by just merely observing a person, but can you say same for, let's say, on the face value of it, there are certain foods it's a no-no once you've been diagnosed. Whether or not I'm going to get a lab, I'm just cutting you off this because it is just not good for you. Okay. You say there are food stuff like that.
Okay, so before I come to that, physical examination is part of the nutritional assessment. So last week when I came, your first impression was even from one of the guys, the camera guys, and now you look stressed. That is physical examination.
I think even Eno said same on the show. And you said you were helping your daughter go to
school. That you have been able to diagnose. It is
obvious.
An observation that I was dehydrated, I was this, I was that. But further, when you're doing treatment, you have to do further because that look can be caused by other factors. Okay. So that said, physical examination is not used as a sole tool for nutritional intervention, just like any medical intervention. Okay. So putting that aside, some of the meals that you would always be quick to eliminate will be the artificial ones. Okay, the processed foods. The processed foods are artificial foods, okay? Because I always say, when it comes to a situation like this, it is only nature that will preserve nature. Artificial foods will make it worse. So you should be ready to, right away, reduce your sugar level. You should be ready to reduce any artificial food. If you are the type that is used to soda, drinks, you eat with drinks. Whenever you are eating, you want to have a bottle of drink with you. You should know that that addition is compromising your immunity, exposing you to or opening you up to more infection. So if you really want to stay healthy or maintain your strength, you don't have to do artificial stuff. So you might even have to cut down bread, okay? And then replace bread with natural stuff. If I say natural stuff, so cancer, the broad diet prescription will be high protein, high fiber. I say broad because high protein, high fiber is key. And then you add other deficiencies. Okay. So if I'm using high protein, high fiber to treat anemia or vitamin B, or based on the lab results, if whatever marker is low, I will gain those micronutrients from the fiber, from the vegetables. Okay. And the protein will help building the muscles. Okay. and then fighting against infection. So we are only focusing on saving life, and saving life will bring us back to natural foods. So this is the time that you will say goodbye to some unhealthy past. Whatever pleasure you found in processed foods, fatty foods, fried foods, even if you are using oil, I must say at this point that the fact that you have cancer doesn't mean you shouldn't take fat and oil. Fat and oil are essential components of a healthy meal. But it is the type of fat you are using and how you cook it that will give you the nutrients you want, so that the doctor will even give you some capsules that will support your fat status. Okay, so he might give you a prescription that is rich in omega-3 or 6 fatty acids and other ones. Sometimes even a dietitian will prescribe extra virgin olive oil, though you are not used to in a cultural sense.
Yeah.
Okay. A patient will say those things are expensive, but those are the nutrients you need now to support the healing process and then restore the body's original function. Okay, so you might have to introduce new nutrients that you are not used to.
Interesting.
Okay, and basic local foods. So for instance, we are saying increase your fiber, and which we are mostly getting from the vegetables and whole grains. So if I am quick to say, I will not serve you Hausa cocoa, don't cry. It is a period of restoration, health restoration. Okay, so we work with your doctor and we know where to come in based on your labs. So if the fiber they are taking out of that porridge is what you need to help in the healing process, then let's rather take the Hausa cocoa, but there should be whole grain Hausa cocoa. I will be very happy to go to a Hausa cocoa joint where there is a whole grain, because that is what we do in the hospital. We don't take away, we don't sieve it. Okay, so you can, and you should be able to go and buy that porridge and tell the vendor, please don't add sugar. And when you take it and you don't get the pleasure of the sweetness you used to enjoy with that, you should be able to encourage yourself that this is a healing process. So far as those times you were not taking capsules, you were not on medication, probably you were not on oxygen, so you were fine. That same time has changed for nutrition intake as well. So those times you were not taking this, but now it has become necessary that you take this. When you get a patient to accept the situation and embrace the intervention, that is half problem solved. Then your dietitian will be able to increase the sources of foods that will help with help correct the malnutrition. Okay, so deficiencies, he is he is identifying on your lab results. She is supposed to help you correct it. So that is where we will increase the greens, we will increase the seeds, we will increase the meat, we will increase the number of times you are eating. Last week I said, because this patient is often not able to eat enough, then the frequent meals are very important. For instance, you might not wake up in the morning and want to put ginger in your water to take. But now, because you want to increase antioxidants, the sources of antioxidants, or fights inflammation, you would want, your dietitian or request that you use ginger or cinnamon or turmeric this way or even garlic this way
Yeah.
to be able to speed up the healing process.
And you're a registered dietitian, right? I'd want you to just talk to us around the dangers of those who especially sit in public transport and they buy every kind of medication that seeks to treat every kind of disease, particularly on weight loss. And also we hear them even some talk about the fact that their medication prevents cancers and all of that, when we've not seen any approval from the relevant state institutions. And especially with the ladies, right? They say there's slim tea. I don't know if you've come across it. And it's like a big deal. Those who sell it on social media, Snapchat, they are making a lot of money. So it means that a lot of people are patronizing it. Will you advise me to drink slim tea? I mean, I'm already, but
So there are healthy ways of losing weight, okay? Next week, I will bring some teas and some, I would want to demonstrate a plate again for this disease, that is cancer, okay? So cancer in general, specific cancers and little additions you make, but there is a general treatment for cancer in terms of nutrition, okay? So I would want to demonstrate that next week. But when it comes to weight loss on social media, I'm seeing quite a lot, okay? Weight loss is a big deal. Weight gain is also a big deal, okay? Weight gain exposes you to high inflammation, which is the cause of a lot of diseases. So we are not encouraging weight gain, but trying to reduce the weight should be done in a healthy way. So you wake up in the morning, and for the whole day, a patient I met, he's only taking tea, okay? And he's doing this for 3 months. And he went to, I will call a vendor, because when I went online to read about this person, he has no background to do what he is doing. So a vendor of a tea, and you are losing the weight. But you see, nutrition is supposed to support good health. So if you are only trying to lose the weight in a crash way for, some even say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and a month, you will see this amount of gain. In healthcare, if you lose an amount of weight within a period of time, a short period of time, we don't classify that as a healthy weight loss, okay? Because with time, you will see the negative results and it will affect health. So if you want to lose weight, please see a dietitian. You will say the dietitians own a slow, but that is what is sustainable and healthy. And don't buy any tea for whatever you are putting in you. It's health, okay? Your intake, think about health.
Yeah.
With time, see, when keto started, we had a lot of...
There are too many stories here.
We had a lot of ICU cases later.
Really?
Wow.
Even with healthcare practitioners.
ICU?
Yes.
That's serious?
Yes, there is one that's... So she was a nurse in our facility. And so started losing weight, nice, and we realized she has started keto, after some months, we all knew she was hospitalized, and it wasn't an acute one. It was an emergency case, and she wasn't the only one. By the grace of God, because of the environment she was, but most of the time,
you don't survive it.
So when you are using, we use keto for a period of time. It is not supposed to be a
lifestyle.
Yes. So you have a case that you want to start with keto, get this marker, and maintain with another intervention. Yes, but if it becomes a lifestyle, with time you will see that you are rather deteriorating instead of improving. So when you want to lose the weight, please see a medical or a health practitioner. Talk to your doctor. Your doctor will refer you to a dietitian, and we will. And back to cancer, when you see or when you have been diagnosed of cancer, because the disease condition increases catabolism already, you will start losing weight. Always let your doctor know that you are losing weight, okay? Have a scale at home. Have a way you check your weight. And I would prefer do it in the morning naked, okay? Our dresses impacts our weights, okay? So if you are dressed and you stand on a scale, you might not get the actual result. Have it every week. And when you see your doctor, let your doctor know, I'm nausea, I have lost appetite, I am losing weight, I'm not able to drink enough water. Don't take it as normal. When you draw doctor's attention to it, doctor will always refer. So far as you have been diagnosed of cancer, impress on your doctor to refer you to a dietitian. If you have been treating, or if you are being managed with cancer for months or even years, and you haven't seen a dietitian, it is an unfortunate situation, and you have to request to see a doctor. You know, to see a dietitian. Most of the time, because malnutrition or undernutrition in this case is associated with cancer, there is a possibility of you taking it as normal. But now there are interventions that will help you correct or improve your nutritional status, okay? And even when they say high protein, you can't just go and just increase your protein intake. You can only work with a dietitian who will do a calculation to know the amount of protein you are supposed to increase to take. You might think that this amount of protein is enough, but probably it is not enough to support good health, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, and when it comes to vitamins, fruits and vegetables are very key. How are you taking it? Especially in a situation where you are feeling nausea already, in a situation where you come from chemo treatment and you are going through so much pain that you don't want to take anything. Work with a dietitian who will know how to modify the food for the body to be able to accept and calm your system. Yes.
Wow, and it's always a pleasure, right? We are grateful for your deep insights and for the work you're doing informing and educating us. Before you go, you have somebody's watching, they want to reach out to you, where can we do so?
So I am Enadiswa on social media. I am also at the Dietitian's Kitchen at the 37 Military Hospital Officers Mess. The Diswa Diet Consults operate from the Critical Care Hospital at Bema Camp. You can find us. And when you go on social media, the Instagram, the dietitian in your kitchen, I want to be a dietitian from the kitchen. So that's, you will find my contacts, get in touch and we can work together.
Do you do health or meal planning for athletes too?
Yes, I do meal planning. I also deliver, okay? And now what we're delivering more is entra-feeds. If I say entra-feeds, patients who are not able to feed orally, but they feed through the tube. You know, how you prepare their food to get it balanced is very, very key. So if you cannot do it at home, you contact us and we'll provide. If you are on any diets, okay, and you are not able to prepare your meal, show us your diet plan from your dietitian, and we can supply the meal to you based on your dietitian's advice. If you don't have a dietitian, we are a team of dietitians, and we can consult you as well.
On that note, we are so grateful for your time.
Most
Thank
welcome.
you so much. We'll take a quick break when we're back to the sports. Don't go away.